What's up, everybody, and welcome to Podcasting with Power. It is a big week here. It is, we are following a Nintendo Direct. This is the first Nintendo Direct of the new show. I mean, the old show, we did a couple Nintendo Directs. But, yeah, exciting week, Jordan. How have you been?
Oh, man. Well, I was looking forward to this forever. I'm glad that it actually happened.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of landed right when all the rumors said it would. So that worked out because it's funny. So just some transparency. We're recording the Saturday after the Direct, not our usual Thursday recording, because neither of us were going to be able to do that. So it kind of worked out that Nintendo decided to throw a Direct at us on Friday, and here we are. It's all good.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been a bummer. You know, if we had recorded on Thursday, like knowing there's going to be,
it was perfect. Honestly,
Yeah.
It was perfect that we were busy because I think we would have done this anyways.
Sure, I think so. So you were out of town. Did you do any Switch playing or any other gaming?
I did a little bit of gaming. Yes, I always do. You overpack when you leave town?
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
I'm such a bad overpacker. Like I was like Switch 2, laptop, 2 controllers. You know, it's like half my carry-on.
Right.
But I've actually been playing Hollow Knight Silk Song quite a bit.
That's right. So yeah, I forgot. Man, it's been a long week. I forgot that was just this past weekend. Yeah, this previous weekend, I get online, I look at my friends list, and I see Jordan playing Hollow Knight Silk Song, and I'm like, what the hell? Okay. So tell me, how much have you played, and what are you thinking so far?
I've played it. I've played quite a bit.
Okay.
And just for like funsies, I jumped on a stream and just one morning did a little like very hush early morning whispers stream.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
And it was embarrassing.
Do you want to maybe tell the people where they can find that stream?
Yeah, you can find it on Twitch TV. So the URL is pretty clean too. Just twitch.tv/RealJoeCar. So
okay.
Very, very simple.
For you.
But no, man, I won't say anything because I won't say anything too deep about it. But because I know a lot of folks are trying to avoid some spoilers potentially.
Yeah, me included. Yeah.
Yep. And so, you know, it's really difficult. I didn't know how difficult it was going to be, but it is very difficult. And I'm usually pretty good at platformers, but man, oh man, those mechanics are wild.
Yeah. That seems to be the consensus, right? I am finishing up the first Hollow Knight. I'm just about to the end of that. And that is a difficult game, but it sounds like, even for people that played through that first one, Silk Song is very much kicking people's asses. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone there.
I actually watched this, not to drag this on for too long, but I watched this the making of. Do you know like the history of Hollow Knight?
Not a whole lot. I know it's a small team. I believe one of the devs like quit their job before release. Beyond that, I don't know a ton.
I'll keep it extremely short, but this was so interesting. I felt like I wanted to bring it up. But so it started out as Hungry Night on like Newgrounds.
You know what? I saw someone post like a screen grab of that the other day. Yeah.
Yeah. So it started out as Hungry Night. And these guys, these buddies of, you know, they met each other and they had similar interests. They developed Hungry Night and then a bunch of other, small flash games here and there, and then found themselves kind of outgrowing the original development platform they were working on.
Sure.
And this is the part I wanted to tell you about. One of the guys, the artist, I think they call themselves like the creative artistic director. He drew all of that. Everything is hand drawn and then scanned in and then redone, you know.
Nice. Okay.
So like that
looks like it pays off.
Yeah. And I mean like the whole map, like in general, like, you know how both games are structured. It's like, it seems all crazy. I know when I played Hollow Knight, I was like, whoa, like there's a lot going on here, but it's just crazy how much detail went into that. And they both, quit their jobs, made it a full-time thing, and found themselves in a good spot. But it was so cool to see like the original drawings and like the thought behind it and stuff.
Very nice. Yeah. Kali had wanted to play Donkey Kong today, actually, Donkey Kong Bananza. And so I brought the Switch 2 up there, and she saw Hollow Knight, on on the UI, and she goes, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what I'm playing right now. It's very difficult." And she was like, "No, come on, it doesn't look like it." I'm like, "Trust me, like it's rough."
Can't wait till you start playing it. It'll be good to talk about. Yeah.
Being almost done with the first one, I'm really enjoying it. I totally get it. I'm all in. I can't wait to get to Silk Song and see how difficult that is for myself. But I've also been playing Pokemon Violet, kind of in the spaces in between Hollow Knight.
Right.
I think I'm coming up to the end of that as well. I've done all the gyms. I've got a couple more, like the bases and I think one more Titan. So I'm getting there. Yeah, and I love it. As someone who has not really vibed with the last couple of Pokemon games, probably Black and White was the last one I really liked on the DS.
Wow.
This one's awesome. I mean, yeah. Kicks the crud out of X and Y and Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon. Yeah.
There was one thing I didn't like about Scarlet and Violet.
Okay.
Well, besides the mechanics and graphics and
sure, yeah, very well.
The sandwiches, man, what's going on?
The food element of this game is a little weird.
Yeah, come on.
I'm interested to see, like, is there going to be a payoff at the end? I don't know. I mean, I feel like I kind of have an idea, right? But
yeah, but it's just, like, from the start, like, he's doing very poorly. He needs something. Like, here's a sandwich, and he's like, yeah. Like, I'm like, sandwiches.
Swim.
What's in those sandwiches?
That part's a little odd. And then you've got the guy who is clearly another character that I've already met, who's like pretending to be a child, and I'm like, okay, I don't know. Again, I kind of know where this is going, but I don't know why we're pretending that I don't. But yeah, I enjoy it a lot. I'm bummed out that those past couple Pokemon games kept me from playing this for so long. Although I am very glad that I'm playing it on Switch too, because you mentioned all the performance issues that it had when it came out. I am not experiencing most of those. There's, some weirdness here and there, but yeah, great game. I'm loving it.
Nice.
So being a Nintendo Direct week, we have kind of a big show, so I want to get right into it, knock the news out. Let's do our housekeeping right now.
Cool.
Podcasting with Power is an independent podcast made by the two of us, and your support goes a long way. You can watch PWP on YouTube and Spotify, or listen on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. Wherever you are, we'd appreciate if you'd follow, like, comment on, and review the show. You can also keep up with us on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Pod with Power. We post show updates, clips, and anything else you might find interesting. Check those out and help support the show. Jordan, I've got 2 stories for you this week, because all of the big stories are going to be in our topic of the show, the Direct. But yeah, I've got a couple of interesting news stories for you, both legal related, which I find interesting.
Ooh.
So let's jump right in. Story number 1. This is by Ollie Reynolds at Nintendo Life. Nintendo wins $2 million lawsuit against MIG Switch distributor. Nintendo has won yet another lawsuit in its ongoing battle against piracy on the Switch and Switch 2, this time against MIG Switch distributor Ryan Daly and the modded hardware website. Updated on September 5th, the court document confirms that Daly is required to pay Nintendo a total of $2 million in damages. In addition, a permanent injunction has been entered against Daly, preventing him from engaging in any activities that might be linked to the selling, marketing, or promotion of piracy devices, such as the MIG Switch and MIG Dumper, which is a fun name. The injunction goes so far as to prevent Daly from accessing any device that may be hacked or in some way tampered with to circumvent Nintendo's protective measures. The modded hardware website has also been shut down, and Daly has been ordered to surrender all relevant website domains to Nintendo that may include company-owned content. So this is huge. For those that don't know, this is essentially a flashcard for the Switch. I have a hunch that you might know a little more about this than I do. So I'm gonna ask kind of what you think about this ruling here.
I think we might have seen this coming.
Yeah. I mean, there is a clear, I think, breaking of some law here.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I'm really into this kind of stuff, but like this is like past the line that I go on.
Yeah, I mean, this is straight up letting you, this is like, here's how you install the software, here's how you play it. Like,
Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like down the line, when the Switch has been on the ground for some time,
sure, yeah,
I might get a little mischievous online. You know what I mean? Like, sure, fine. When things are unavailable to me, harder to find, and you're trying to, sure, I might do some things there. But this is kind of one of those things that brings me back to the 3DS. Same exact thing. You'd find those loaders. You could put them in, mess with some ROM files, that kind of thing. And to me, it just goes too far. I feel like I think that everything is very easy to get the way you're supposed to. Sure. I got no problem doing it that way. I mean, when it comes to classics, like I know back in the day, like or we'll say early Switch days, we didn't have access to the Nintendo classics, and it wasn't the same stuff we have today. So people were more enticed to kind of play around with this stuff because these devices also obviously opened the door for modding systems software wise.
Yeah.
So like it was a little more enticing back in those times, but at the same time, like it was exciting. It was a brand new thing. We were busy with proprietary software. Like I didn't need anything else.
Right.
So honestly, in my mind with this stuff, like there's always going to be a way. There's always going to be something. There's going to be the next thing. But yeah, definitely saw this one coming.
Yeah, I don't have really a moral objection to this kind of hardware being out there, right? Like you said, there are a lot of reasons why stuff is difficult to find. Obviously, we are both kind of in fortunate positions where, if we want a Switch game, it's not too hard to make that happen. But, I understand that that's not the case for everybody. And we definitely discovered a lot of games, I think, as we were, growing up that really kind of shaped us into the gamers that we are today and kind of led us to this spot right here. So I get it. At the same time, you totally understand why Nintendo has gone after them and why they won this case.
Yeah.
Story number 2. Nintendo's patent on sub-characters could have some dire ramifications. This is again by Ollie Reynolds at Nintendo Life. Nintendo, in its ongoing battle against Pocket Pair and Pal World, has been filing various patents left, right, and center in the US, the latest of which is almost certain cause for concern. As detailed by Games Fray, the patent has been granted, which essentially covers the summoning of sub-characters and letting it fight on your behalf. They're not sure, but they can think of a few examples, of games that have mechanics outside of Pokemon. They list Elden Ring here. It goes into further detail and states that the sub-characters can either be controlled by issuing commands or can act on its own accord, battling enemies automatically should any appear within the immediate vicinity. According to the analysis, games that make use of all of the following could potentially trigger an infringement lawsuit from Nintendo. There must be a PC, console, or other computing device, and the game is stored on a drive or a similar storage medium. 2, you can move a character in a virtual space. 3, you must be able to summon a character. 4, this is about the summoning of the sub-character in a place where there's already another character that it will fight. 5, the alternative scenario is about summoning the sub-character at a position where there is no other character to fight immediately. And 6, the final step is about sending the sub-character in a direction and then letting an automatic battle ensue with another character, which is something I believe you can do in Scarlet and Violet. And then they updated this story on Thursday, saying, upon closer inspection, the summary and flowchart presented to describe the nature of the patent specifically mentions the use of a ball when summoning a sub-character, which obviously, pertains very much to Pokemon. This is very much targeted at Pal World, but it's interesting that if you take that ball part out of it, how many different kinds of games you can kind of start to think of that maybe this, is referring to. So I know a lot of people are crying foul at this as a step too far from Nintendo. Do you think maybe they've overreached with this one?
I don't know, man. Like some of it, like I get, like, summoning from a ball, and when you start to get really, really specific about how it's taking place, obviously they're being very protective over Pokemon, but sub-character in a direction where you're letting an automatic battle ensue, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That's a little, I mean...
So the interesting one there for me is I think of, and it's very different, you're not throwing them out of a ball, but like Pikmin. Your Pikmin are natural, and obviously Nintendo also has, the stake in that as well, but like they're going after enemies on their own. They're kind of doing their own thing. They're what you would call sub characters. But even go back, like I played a game growing up called Dragon Warrior Monsters on the Game Boy. I think is it Ni no Kuni that has kind of some similar mechanics.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's Pokemon is not the only player in this space.
Yeah, I mean, I just think about. I know that Pokemon was first, but I always think about Digimon when this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like Digimon was like a year. It was within a year, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I know you started it, but it's out there. I don't know. Especially like, we're gonna get into a. We're gonna talk about something else later that I think is interesting that has to do with this, but that Ditto game. We'll talk about it.
Okay. Yeah.
But like, I think this is I think it's a little too far. Yeah, I mean, the Pal World thing, I kind of get it.
I was going to ask, did you play Pal World? I know we have some mutual friends that did. I don't remember if I saw you playing that though.
I booted it up just to see what was going on.
I didn't.
Yeah, I just wanted to see like what the commotion was about, like what was going on, and I honestly like just really didn't care for it. It was it was so close to home with Pokemon that honestly like it felt dirty almost. Like I didn't I didn't like what was taking place in the game because it took me back to Pokemon. It's weird. Okay. So I kind of understand the lawsuit with that one. I mean, I really do, but
sure.
But I think this is just with some of these different bullets, like I feel like you really are. It's really it's a little much, I think, but I understand trying to protect your IP, like
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo's out there being litigious. That's kind of their thing. Their second thing behind making games, right? Let's knock out some out this week so we can get to the real meat of the show here. I only highlighted 3 games here that I think, I found interesting enough to talk about. On September 15th, we got Lego Voyagers for the Switch 1 and 2. This feels like something you might be into. Kind of the co-op, sort of, almost It Takes Two, split fiction kind of,
Yeah.
But in the Lego world, you're a little Lego brick. That's interesting.
I do think it's interesting. I don't know that I'll really. I thought it looked cool when I saw that it was coming out, but I'll say it's gorgeous though. Like
it is a very pretty game. Yeah, absolutely.
It is gorgeous. I think I'd be apt to give it a shot, but I don't know. I don't know where I'll do that. And
sure.
I think this is something like if it came to Game Pass or something, I'd try it out.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep. We've got Formula Legends on the Switch 1 on September 18th, and then we've got Puzzle Quest Immortal Edition, which I have to assume is some sort of release, but I guess I don't know. Also on the Switch 1 on September 18th. But we're not here for that. We're here for this week's topic of the show, which is the September 12th, 2025 Nintendo Direct. So I watched it on Friday. I believe you did as well. We have not talked to one another really about our thoughts on this at all.
At all. We're totally in the dark.
You're there. I know I've got thoughts. I know you've got thoughts. So I want to start with exactly that. Your very surface level thoughts and feelings about this Direct. When you turned YouTube or Twitch or wherever you watched it off, how did you feel about this thing?
So I'm going to go overall. I won't mention. I'm going to very much try to keep all my thoughts kind of bucketed as we kind of go down the Direct.
Yeah.
So overall, honestly, not bad, but not what I wanted. So
I'm with you. Yeah.
If I had to rank it, I'd say probably a C+.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like a C,
okay.
C+. Yeah. It definitely had some moments in there where I was like, oh, cool. But I think it relied on a lot on stuff we knew about already.
Yeah.
And gave us a little more information, which is, not a bad thing, but it's not, super exciting. And I think the new stuff was, while cool, not all of it was for me. I don't think all of it was for you, but at least you kind of get like, okay, people are going to enjoy this. And I don't think there was any one thing in there that, every Switch 2, Switch 1 owner would go, yeah, I can't wait to play that. So I mean, if we don't have more than that, do you want to start running through this thing?
I think so. I think I'm going to say there are 3 things that I didn't care for at all.
Oh, really? I'm very interested to hear what those are. Because I kind of tuned things out. In this direct, I don't feel like had a lot of them for me, but sometimes you'll get to a section and you're like, okay, I don't really care too much for this, but I don't feel like there was ever a lull here.
No.
Well, we'll get through it, and I'm curious to see how that goes. So they opened up strong, I felt like, with the Super Mario 40th anniversary, which it'll have passed by the time you guys hear this. September 13th happens to be the day we're recording this. The Japanese release of Super Mario Brothers. So happy 40th birthday, Super Mario Brothers. You're a big Mario guy. So seeing that pop up right at the beginning, I'm sure you were.
I was hype. Hype. And you want to know why? Because the art, I was like,
all the concept art. Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Like, so immediately I thought Super Mario Maker is about to happen because I saw the grids.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh boy, here we go. Like, this is about to happen. I got goosebumps, even just the idea of it. I was like seeing it all. And then I started thinking, I was like, Zach, it's the next 3D Mario. I told you, man, it's coming.
I think ahead of this, I had, and talking with people at work, I had firmly decided I didn't think there was any chance that it was going to be a 3D Mario today.
Okay, when that was happening, what were you thinking?
Similar. I was more in like the collection Super All Stars sort of, like something like that, something that really compiled a lot of these old games. Mario Maker's a great pull. But yeah, what we got was an art gallery at the Nintendo Museum in Kyoto with an exclusive ticket. And then we got a thing that doesn't even really seem to be that Mario related, and that's the Kyoto Marathon in February, which I spelled wrong in the doc. And that I guess Mario's going to be there cheering you on. Even the bib doesn't, it just has Nintendo on it. It's not even a Mario 40th anniversary thing. So I don't really know what that was about. But then we moved into something that I did expect and was relatively exciting. And that is we got a little Super Mario movie sequel teaser, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything crazy. Mario's, taking a nap under the tree. You see a Monty Mole, I believe. We, kind of zoom towards the castle, and then we go up into space, and you see the Super Mario Galaxy movie logo. Spring 2026, we know that's coming. They did confirm returning cast: Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, Charlie Day, Jack Black, Keegan-Michael Key, and Kevin Michael Richardson returning. I noted here, no Seth Rogen, so no Donkey Kong, and then probably his stable of characters. No new characters. I thought when we were going through that list, maybe we'll get a voice for Yoshi, if that's the route they're going with Yoshi, or maybe another character they're going to introduce here. Did the teaser do anything for you?
I personally liked it more than the first teaser we got from the first Mario movie. I loved how it went up Peach's castle, and we got a really good glimpse of like the Mario 64 Peach's castle. Yeah. And I love that, like you were mentioning, the Monty Mole go down and there's cheeps. Like it very much like the world. Like I remember the first teaser for the first Mario movie. It was like he like fell out of the pipe and he landed a bunch of mushrooms. Yeah. And I was like, all right, yeah, like for sure it's Mario. But this one, looking around and like the world that was around him, looked way more like the Mario authentic world.
Yeah.
And so I was really excited to see the visuals for it. And then seeing that it was Mario Galaxy honestly was just really interesting more than anything, because now I'm like, because that game was like extremely unique in how it played. So
yeah, and it just, I don't know, it feels like something you build to, right? It feels like a third movie in a
kind of does
franchise, not a second movie.
Yeah. Like honestly, with it being like Mario 2, I was kind of thinking we'd get a really weird, wonky, go through doors and like see the flying masks.
Right. I mean, you don't know a ton, right? They teased Yoshi at the end of the first movie.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, what we should do before the sequel comes out? We should both rewatch the first movie, and that should be a show. We should break down that first movie ahead of.
That's a great idea.
But going into this, we kind of know, she's going to be at least, important to some degree. Now I think because of the Galaxy thing, we can probably assume Rosalina is going to be a new character.
Yeah.
And there was a Luma right at the end.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So we'll have some Lumas that are. I guess there were Lumas in the first one. That one that was like always saying that really dark shit.
Oh yeah.
So I guess we did kind of get a little bit of that. But yeah, I was just a little bummed that there wasn't more to it. The name's cool. It does really, you start thinking, where are we gonna go with that? Yoshi was, of course, a big part of Mario Galaxy 2. So if you want to do that with Yoshi, you can do that. I'm bummed that the DK stuff isn't there.
Are you?
I really liked that element of the first movie. I get that maybe they want to do their own thing. They want to do a Donkey Kong spin-off that we've talked about. So I get maybe now it's time to separate that. You can always bring them back later. But yeah, I mean, seeing the returning names and them not being there was kind of a bummer for me.
I felt kind of the opposite. I was actually kind of excited. They're kind of just going to hone in on Mario now.
Okay.
So I'm pretty stoked on that. It felt like a lot in the first one. I liked it just like you did. I really did enjoy it, but it was a lot,
Yeah, I guess you don't want it to kind of steal the attention away from all of the other new stuff, but
yeah.
But yeah, so we've got that movie coming out very soon. It's almost strange to me that, I don't know, what are we, 9 months roughly? Maybe a little less from that movie, and this is all we've seen from it.
Yeah.
I would have thought maybe a longer trailer, but that's all right. We did immediately then got a game announcement, which of course ties directly into it, and that's Super Mario Galaxy 1 and Super Mario Galaxy 2 coming out October 2nd for the Switch and Switch 2. It's going to be a bundled physical release for $70, which I'm sure we'll talk about in just a second here. Or you will be able to buy them individually on the eShop for $40 a piece. It'll be 1080p on Switch, 4K on Switch 2. Has a new assist mode and new storybook pages. And I believe there was a mention that the storybook will also now carry over into Galaxy 1. We're getting new Mario and Rosalina amiibo that are going to be $40 each. When I saw those, I was like, that's very cool. Those don't come out till April, which is wild. But yeah, $40 each, so same as the games are digitally. And they're going to physically release the storybook, but it won't include the new pages they're adding to this, which is, what are you doing here? So, what the hell's going on with this? Because everything I read there just feels like cool thing, weird thing, cool thing, weird thing.
I actually can't remember when they released Mario Galaxy 1 with the 35th anniversary bundle.
Yeah, the 3D All-Stars, yeah.
That was 1080 on the TV, but it was 720 on handheld.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Sounds right.
I mean, I just feel I was bummed. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, like, it's cool that you can buy them separately. Thank God you can buy them separately, because I'm like, man, like, you already gave me half this, like, I don't.
Yeah, I have 3D All Stars. I think you do as well.
Yeah, so I was a little bummed that this was the release. I felt like there was more that could be done here. I don't know, Galaxy. I get it; it's tying into the movie, but it just felt. It didn't feel like the 40th anniversary mattered as much. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it really doesn't. Like, the movie release is really great, but like, that's not, to me, like, celebrating the 40th anniversary. That's a big one. It's a decade one. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
That's a 4-0, and I mean, I hope 50's big, but like, it just, compared to the 35th, I feel like the 35th anniversary, like, that was banging. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, we got the game, the Mario 35, kind of battle royale Mario, which was cool. We got 3D All Stars, like you mentioned. I feel like there was other stuff that year. It was the Origami King Paper Mario. That was that year, I think.
We got the little Game & Watch things.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, which I loved. I thought that was awesome. A cool little thing to collect.
Do you have either? Or the Zelda one?
What's that?
Do you have either of those? That one or the Zelda?
Yeah.
One? Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and they're really cool. Like, it's funny that we're well, it's not funny we're talking about it because we knew we were going to talk about it. But like, this morning I was looking at my Etsy cart from like maybe a year ago, and it had this little stand to hold them, and I was like, oh man, I should get those out. But like, yeah, no, the 35th anniversary was awesome. I just this felt, you know, we get a movie which we knew about, and then we got half of a new thing in the game, and I was like, dang, I'm bummed, to be honest. But
it does seem like, I will say, I'm not going to defend this because I think this stuff, especially the pricing, is wild. It does seem that Galaxy 1, this version of it, will be different than the version we got 5 years ago. It does seem like they've put a little more work into how it looks, how it presents, and, you know, like I said, the new mode and that stuff. I don't think it's enough, though. Obviously, 4K on Switch 2 is cool. I mean, that's awesome. And Mario Galaxy 2 for me is one of those. It's one of those few at this point Nintendo kind of legends that I haven't really played. I've played very little of it, but never through it the way I did Galaxy. I loved the first Galaxy when that came out. Although I didn't care for it nearly as much when I played it on 3D All Stars. And maybe that I followed it, you know, 64 and then Sunshine, then that.
Yeah,
I remember kind of being like, oh yeah, like this maybe hasn't aged as well as I thought it would.
Yeah,
so 5 years later now do 2.
I just like I agree. Like, obviously it's gonna play better and it looks better, but it's like I bought it once.
Yeah,
but I mean, it was packaged in. I get it. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think we've speculated before, maybe either on or off the show. Why was this not? Why didn't they just reissue 3D All Stars and then do their Switch 2 edition thing, and it's $20, and then you add, you know, Galaxy 2 to it? Why not do that?
I don't know.
I don't get it. Yeah, when you break down 3D All Stars, 3 games, $60 package. Here is, you know, 2 games, $70 package, or $40 a piece. These games were on the Wii U eShop as well, you know, and what were they? I think 20 when they launched. Although I seem to have some memory of them being 10 at some point. I don't know if that was a sale or what, but
yeah, I don't know.
You know, so now, yeah, a couple years later to see it here at $40 is nuts. But then the amiibo, okay? The amiibo look great. You know, it's Mario with the little star shooter thing. I forget what they call those in that. And then Rosalina is the other one. And they're awesome looking. They're great. Mm-hmm. They're a little bigger than your normal, you know, standard size amiibo. But I don't, $40. And, you know, we're going to be in April. Like, even if I play one of these next month, these come out October 2nd. I don't know if I mentioned that. But if, let's say I do that, by the time we get to April, I'm not going to be in the... Mario Galaxy's not going to be top of mind anymore, right?
No.
So,
yeah. No, dude, I think in February, we're going to get hit with some Zelda 40th that I've been talking about relentlessly because I'm very excited. And whatever it is we hopefully get from that, I'm hoping we'll be dealing with in April, you know?
Well, I'm hoping it's kind of the opposite, right? Because we didn't get a ton in 2021. So I'm hoping maybe we'll get a good amount for the 40th next year. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Hope so.
What did we get in 2021?
For Zelda?
Yeah. Besides the Game & Watch you mentioned. Age of Calamity was the year before. Yeah.
Man,
I don't think there was
I'm gonna have to Google. I don't remember.
But do you see yourself picking up at least Galaxy 2 here, or are you gonna skip it?
Yes, I'll be getting Galaxy 2 for sure. But I'll be thinking about, because if I want to go back and play Galaxy now, because this is I think this is part of the reason I get mad about this stuff, because I know I'm gonna buy 1 and 2. You know, like. Yep. I know I'm gonna do it. Why not just not do it? And because if I want to go back and play Galaxy 1, which I know I will eventually do, I'm gonna want to play the better one. So like, I'm gonna buy it. You know, like,
and because you know that you're gonna buy them together because you want to save that money now, and you know.
Mm-hmm. So that's part of the reason I'm like mad about it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm gonna buy it again, Nintendo. Thanks. You know?
Yeah, the third time.
Oh God.
Well, they did, and I'm in the same boat. I think I'm I'm in it for Galaxy 2, but I will probably end up doing both.
Ooh, I'm gonna buy that goddamn storybook too.
You want the storybook? I am not too interested in the storybook.
Oh, I'm buying it.
Yeah. I think that's weird, right? They're adding specifically new storybook content to the games and then putting out this book and that is not in there. Why? What are they doing? Why are these two branches of the company not talking to each other?
I don't know, but I'm gonna buy it.
All right.
It's it's cool. Anyway,
so following that, we actually got our first new game of the Direct with Mario Tennis Fever coming out February 12th. It's Mario Tennis. It looks great. A lot of new movement options. They have the Fever rackets that all have different abilities. They can freeze stuff, fire, all that stuff. Yeah. And then they showed off a story mode that, which, I have here. Very cool. And then baby characters. That's an odd choice, but
weird.
Okay. Weird choice. But I mean, that was always my favorite part of the handheld Mario Tennis and golf games.
Yes.
And I didn't play Mario Tennis Aces on the Switch. Ultra Smash on the Wii U was a big disappointment. From what I understand, Aces was better, but still not quite to the heights of, the GameCube era and stuff like that. This, I hope, is a return to form. I don't think the Mario sports games in the Switch era were very good.
No.
As a whole. I liked golf probably the best, but Strikers didn't do what I wanted it to do. Aces didn't entice me enough to even buy it. I hope this brings me back. You gonna play Mario Tennis Fever? Are you a big Mario sports guy?
But I really loved Mario Tennis on the Game Boy Color was it was my favorite. That was my first Mario sports game, and I loved it, and I loved the story mode. And I know it wasn't that deep. I just loved that I could run around campus.
Yeah.
I was talking to people. Yeah. So when I saw that there was a story mode, I know I mean, it didn't look that deep, but who knows? Maybe we'll see some more stuff as it comes out. But I mean, it looked really good. And like you said, I haven't been a huge Switch era Mario sports guy, but I did think golf was fun. Mario Golf's always just been...
Yeah, the 3DS one was so good.
Dude, yeah. Mario Golf's always a hoot. So I feel like this one closer to, we'll kind of just see what happens, but I have a feeling I'll end up picking it up. Yeah.
Yeah, February I think is a cool time for this. Kind of, I think it's a weird release time, but I think I'll be vibing with it then.
Yeah, 2 days before Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So then, we're going back into the Mario well here with Super Mario Wonder Switch 2 Edition plus Meet Up in Bella Bell Park. That's coming out spring 2026. It's exactly, kind of what I think we've talked about. That felt like a game that was right for a Switch 2 Edition. And Bella Bell Park, I think it's interesting. So it's all multiplayer focused, right? It's a lot of hide and seek modes and get the most coins and do this and that. And that's cool. They did tease. They talked about that there would be other content. You see a little thing with the Koopa Kids, and there's one new power up in there. I'm hoping it's at least probably 2 full worlds worth of levels. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want to do.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm happy that they're doing it. I'm glad I didn't buy it already because, oh my God, I almost did. So thank God I didn't. Even though I'm sure if you did, there'll be some kind of incentive. I'm sure, pay.
Oh, an upgrade pack or something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll do something.
I think so.
But I mean, I did want to play this, so I'll be checking it out.
Have you? You haven't played the base Wonder game at all?
Oh, I have.
Okay, I was gonna say that's excellent.
But it wasn't. I don't own it specifically.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, I have buddies who have it. Justin's actually talked to me substantially about it.
Sure.
It's actually the reason I want to play it again. But
Wonder is very, very good.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, I'm excited to go back to it. And then they ended that little section with the Talking Flower, of course, from Wonder, is getting a weird physical release that's coming out around the same time, spring 2026. That is a time frame you're going to see a lot in this direct. You want the storybook? Are you going to get the weird Talking Flower?
No.
Okay. It sounds like they have a little thing there that says, not an interactive toy. It sounds like it's just gonna talk whenever.
I'll look. So the very beginning of Super Mario Wonder, when that thing talks to you, like you're making your first run. I don't remember what it says, but it's like, well, yeah, blah blah blah. Some. I was like, what? Like the voice that comes out of that thing, I'm like, how did you hit that low of a register? You know what I mean? Like it was like
right
something that blah blah blah. And I was like, yo,
it's not cartoony enough for what it is, right? And what you're doing. It's just like a guy talking to you. It's unsettling a little bit. Like I didn't care for that part of Wonder.
Well, like you run around on the piano keys, and it's like, dude, I don't remember anything it says, but it's like running out all the keys. You're like, okay, man. Yeah.
There were a couple moments where I definitely laughed, but more often than not, I was like, dude, just shut the hell up. Like, come on. And then we got one more new game announcement in the Mario 40th anniversary section, and this one goes to Yoshi. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, also coming out spring 2026. That's wild, putting this side scroller right next to Mario Wonder, but here we are. Cool art style on this one, right?
Yes.
I was all about that. Kali played a game called South of Midnight earlier this year on the Xbox. It's on Game Pass, and it has kind of that stop motion style to it. And very, very cool. I watched her play through it, and this reminded me a lot of that. My only problem is it is a Yoshi side scroller, which is not something I have found very intriguing in a long time. As much as I want to, I've tried Yoshi's Island DS. I've tried, it doesn't. I don't know if I just outgrew it.
You can't even go back to Yoshi's Island.
Oh yeah, Yoshi's Island's great. Even I have enough nostalgia for Yoshi's Story that like when that came to N64 Classics on the Switch, I played a good chunk of that. I don't think I finished it. I don't remember, but
yeah,
I can do that. But yeah, beyond those, I'm not really Yoshi.
If there's more that comes out with this game, like we get a better look at it, which I know we will. Well, I hope we will, but it just looked very easy.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem, right?
Yeah, I didn't see like a whole lot going on in the things that they showed, so I'm hoping maybe it was just kind of a, first little glimpse, nothing crazy. I hope that it's a little more challenging looking closer to launch. It's not, one of those like more like those titles kind of that they direct at children. Like I hope it's something more than that. I'd be really bummed if it wasn't, because, if you sell me on some really beautiful art style, and honestly, like I do like the Yoshi side scrollers. I think they're fun and they have a lot of character, a lot of flavor. So I just hope that this one isn't just like kind of a boring, overlooked kind of thing, just kind of for kids. That's my worry with it. But I'm hoping that we see more, and I hope it's good.
I love that they're keeping the legacy of doing interesting things with Yoshi visually. We got Woolly World, we got Crafted World, and now this one. So, yeah, hopefully that's cool. We should probably see more of that in the coming months.
We really went through a phase where they were like, Yoshi and Kirby are going to do some weird ass shit. We're going to make games out of it.
What is the Wii U one? Kirby and the Canvas Curse is the DS one. Rainbow Curse, I think, is the Wii U one, and it has that claymation kind of.
Yeah,
that is so.
The 3DS did Epic Yarn, right?
Yeah, Wii, and then it did come to 3DS.
Wii, okay.
Yeah,
just weird. Like,
yeah. I always wanted them to do. Remember that one? I think it was like an E3 presentation where they did the like almost Muppet style, like Star Fox thing.
Oh shit!
And if like do like the cool like sci-fi Star Fox, but then all of the things in the little speech windows were just like that Muppet, Slippy.
Dude,
like that would be incredible.
I would love that. Oh my god.
So that does it for the Mario 40th anniversary stuff. Now some of these, because we have not talked about it, I don't know which of these you're interested in, which of these you're not. So if I am flying through something and you want to talk about it, by all means, let me know.
Sure thing.
We got hit by a couple right out of that with Storm Lancers, which is out now. Not really for me, but looked cool visually. Dinkum out November 5th with a demo out now. I saw that, David. And then Popcom is coming out holiday 2025. This one was interesting. It's multiplayer only, and it's like 3D Bubble Bobble almost.
Yeah. Where
like you have two colors and I have two colors, and we have to like solve puzzles with it, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
I will it'll fall off my radar, and I won't remember this game in 3 months. But it's something. Then, and Pass. I feel like, what was that?
Pass.
Okay, fair enough. I'm curious if maybe this is one of the two you weren't crazy about, and that's Tomodachi Life: Living the Dream, coming spring 2026. We knew about this one. It now has a window. It's still not a date. I thought we'd get that because the little me in the trailer even mentions, he's like, give us the release date or whatever he says. Yeah. And like, then it's just, you have your little breaking news segment at the end. It's like, we can confirm that 2026 is now spring 2026. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything to me in fall of 2025. Okay. Like, I don't know. That's arbitrary. No. Did you play, were you aware of Tomodachi Life on the 3DS?
You don't remember you and I doing that?
I don't know that I ever played Tomodachi Life. I don't
Didn't we? Because you remember on our phones?
Yeah. Huh? We had Miitomo phones.
Oh, Miitomo!
I guess it's very, very much like this.
You're right. I was thinking of Miitomo. No, but the Tomodachi Life stuff, like, it looks... okay, I don't know how to even really say this. Like, I'm not really interested.
Okay.
But in a weird way, I am.
Sure.
Like, it's so weird looking.
Yeah.
That I want to check it out. And like designing your little character.
Yeah.
It just looked interesting. I don't know.
This is one of the problems with Nintendo never lowering the price points for their games, or never putting things on sale. Like, I don't want to spend $60-$70 on Tomodachi Life.
No.
Not knowing what it is. Like, maybe if I was into it, sure, I'd have no problem. But having no experience with that, I don't want to make that jump, which means every time one of these comes along, I'm just kind of like, okay, like, I won't try this one either. Whereas if it went on sale for $20, I might give it a shot, and I might tell you, hey, dude, this game's hilarious. Give it a shot. The trailer was fun. I liked all that. Had a good sense of humor about it.
Right.
But at this point, I don't see myself playing this one.
No, but the humor is what's gonna suck me in, I think.
Yeah. It could, if the library has this, I will check it out. I'll commit to that right now. I won't buy it, but if I can check it out at the library, I will give that a shot. Next up was Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, coming digitally October 30th and physical December 12th. This is a bunch of different versions of, I think, Super Nintendo and Genesis and arcade Mortal Kombats, a wide variety of them. Do you have any love for the Mortal Kombat games, specifically these ones?
I do, but I've also repurchased and played those enough times that I think I can give this one a pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of Mortal Kombat. Like I X and 11 and even, Mortal Kombat versus DC, Injustice, all that. But going back to a lot of these, I've never played most of these games. So, this, again, might be one that when the collection's on sale, I might decide to pick it up. I probably will not be playing it October 30th because I know there are a lot of other games out around that time, and I can't give it all to Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah.
Then we saw Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade coming January 22nd, 2026. I know people at Gamescom said this ran incredibly well in the demo that they played, which is
cool.
Great to hear. $40 price point on this, which I guess makes sense. That is like what it is on PlayStation. But for some reason, I assumed that at least when it came out on Switch 2, it would be a full price title.
Mm-hmm.
So I have played this, full disclosure. I played the PS5 version right before Rebirth came out. And I think I'm going to double dip. I think I'm going to buy this and play it again on the Switch too, because that just sounds perfect.
I think I will also be playing this.
I think you would dig this one.
Yeah.
Because it is doing that kind of, it's not turn-based, it's turn-based inspired, but it's that active battle that you were talking about kind of with, what was that game, the demo you played? Elliot.
Adventures of Elliot.
Elliot. Yeah.
Elliot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think you would dig this one.
Yeah.
So that's cool. We finally got a date, and I believe it is now confirmed for Xbox, which people have wanted forever. Then we got to Linked Banner of the Spark, which is out now. And you've highlighted this one, which indicates to me you have a feeling about this one.
Nope, I just wanted to Google it so I could be disappointed for a second time, but no. Okay. I wanted to see what it looked like again. I had forgotten since then and now, and I see now why. So yeah, not very interested in that one.
So this was the point of the Direct where Kali came and sat next to me, and she actually was interested in this one.
Really?
Yeah. And this isn't exactly her kind of game. She definitely played some Diablo with me and stuff like that. So it's not too far out of that realm. But yeah, it's one that, especially, being out right now, we've definitely talked about maybe checking out. We'll see if that sticks or not. But I don't recall if this one was just Switch 1 or if it was both. I'm trying to find that. It is both. There's a Switch 2 version as well. So like I said, that's out now. What's next? Hades 2, September 25th. Very, very close. Physical release November 20th. Again, we've kind of talked about how this makes sense. The early access on PC has kind of wrapped up, and we knew that this release was imminent. Was going to be a console exclusive on Switch first, so makes sense. I'm glad it is getting its moment, and it has had a little bit of time to breathe post Hollow Knight, which is, I think, good because these are both kind of indie juggernauts.
Yeah.
Does Hades do anything for you? This kind of dungeon crawler roguelike?
A lot of friends big into Hades. I know it's always been recommended to me, so to be honest, I think that unlike Hollow Knight, if I did go back, I'd probably play the first one before I play the second one. So
yeah, so I picked up the first one the last time it was on sale.
Okay.
Yep. Haley, who I know is listening to the show, I remember watching her play this years ago at this point. And it's very cool,
Yeah, it seems very cool.
I think I could get lost in it. Next, we got kind of back to the first party a little bit with Kirby Air Riders, still coming out November 20th, that we knew about. Started off with Amiibo, Kirby and the Warp Star, and Bandana Waddle Dee and the Winged Star. These, when you scan them into your game, they're going to create figure players. Like, remember when we were doing Smash Bros. And like the Wii U, and then Ultimate, like, you save your little fighter and he kind of learns stuff. And what character did we use where we trained him against you and I, and we made him like incredible, like to the point where neither of us could beat him? Was it Ness? I don't remember which one it was, but like, because I know we did it. We experimented with several. We had Mario and Link, and not all of the Smash Bros. Amiibo, but yeah, Ness kind of sounds right. I know we definitely had the Ness Amiibo. It was something weird. It was like somebody really weird, but yeah, I remember we trained somebody, and they were just unstoppable. It was incredible. Don't know how much I'm gonna do of that in this game, but it's cool that Sakurai's still kind of keeping that going. Interesting enough, for these Amiibo is that the little guys come off of the machines, and you can swap them if you want to put Kirby on the Wing Star and Waddle Dee on the other one. But again, these Amiibo are each $50, which Jesus Christ. I don't know. I can't spend $50 on Bandana Waddle Dee. No, especially no. Yeah, no. When they can't. Even in this, I get is a different thing. If this was 20, okay, but yeah, $20, $50, $50 a piece. God bless, man. Yeah. Like, I don't know, dude. That is. Yeah. How big are these things? Like, actually, these ones are pretty big. I saw them compared to like the other Kirby Amiibo that are out there already. So they, I think, are pretty like. So sizable. If regulars like this, is it like this? I don't think it's that tall. I don't think the difference is that clear. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm gonna pick these up. As cool as they look, I didn't know here when those come out. I assume probably right around the game. And then they did tease that more figures would be on the way. You have to assume that is Meta Knight and King Dedede, Day-to-Day.
I do fucking love Meta Knight for some reason. So
Meta Knight's cool. I do have the Smash Bros. Meta Knight amiibo.
Like if they made a really cool version of him that was bigger, I'd think about it. But still, for $40, $50, like
wild.
Like we're peeking around the corner from a harsh 5 being in there. You know what I mean? And I can't. That's a lot.
I get it. They did also confirm that there will be a second Kirby Air Riders Direct with Sakurai. They gotta tell us. They tease that whatever that story thing is at the end. The crazy.
How do we keep dragging that guy into talking about this?
Dude, he loves. If you let him tell some dark, twisted Kirby story, he is all about it. So I'm sure the majority of this will be all about the horrors of the world Kirby lives in, which is incredible. They immediately followed that up with Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, coming out November 6th. That release date is new, and not when I thought it would be, but okay. They showed off that it will have split screen co-op. You can also game share. And then at the very end, because we've noted Link is not in, he wasn't in the first trailer, he wasn't in this trailer, but then there is kind of like a Zonai machine thing that looks a lot like Link, right? And so I wonder if that's going to be kind of how they get around that, right? Like, oh, he's not in the game because it takes place in the past, but also we know that's what you want to do. So, you want to be Link in a Zelda game. So, again, just more cool stuff in this trailer. It seems like they're going very heavy into the story, which we've talked about being kind of one of the draws. Yeah, that's a cool era and with cool characters. I'm all in. What do you think about a early November release date for this?
I like it. I like it because that is probably when I'm going to be the most vulnerable and open-minded to do it.
Sure.
So I feel like I like it. I feel good about that. As we get closer to it, it's another one of those ones that I'll probably have my thumb on, just kind of seeing what comes out, because I do have a feeling that this is one above all the other ones that I'll probably cave into because of the story element stuff that I want to see.
Yeah. This is another one that I kind of use the Kali barometer here, where she watched me play Tears of the Kingdom, almost all of it. So she already kind of knows who these characters are and what they're all about. Is very interested in seeing more of that, and even thought the gameplay, felt like something she'd be interested in, being so different than the Zelda games that she's played in those two.
Dude, man, Tears of the Kingdom, dude. I was talking about Tears earlier because Amanda's we're thinking about another Zelda game for her to get into,
Yeah.
And Keenan and I, when we had played through Tears, we couldn't stop calling the depths the basement.
Okay, yeah.
So I was just thinking about it earlier. It's like, God damn it, I want to go back to the fucking basement again, man. It just, I don't know, it makes me laugh every time I think about it.
Yeah, I want to. I knew, there was no way I was going to be able to replay that entire game before this came out, but I think I had tricked myself into thinking there was a way. Now, November 6th, not possible. I've got too much going on.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. So then we saw Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, remake of Dragon Quest VII. Interesting art style on this one.
Hate it.
His head was so overdeveloped.
Hate it.
Insane. So I know you are a fan of Dragon Quest. Some of them.
Yeah, I'd say I'm a new fan.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude. Like I'm a little bummed out. Like I don't like the art style at all. It's too cartoony. Like
okay.
And this is not the same way. I'm not saying this in the same way that people looked at Wind Waker when that came out. This is very Nickelodeon looking to me.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's enough that I know for a fact I'm not going to play it.
So, Dragon Quest very famously designed by Toriyama,
Right.
We both love Dragon Ball, as we've talked about now every chance we get.
Yeah.
This game, at least this reimagining, did not capture any of that for me.
No.
I didn't feel that, which is a bummer.
It is. That's how it's supposed to look to me. So like when you change it, I hate saying it like that though, because I am open-minded to reimagining art styles in games.
Sure.
Like, I mean, we've seen it done with Mario a million times, like the Donkey Kong a million times. Like, we've seen it all over the place. But there's just maybe it's because I'm a newer fan of Dragon Quest or the remakes and stuff. But I can't do that one. I can't do it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like this, the old one does still exist if we wanted to play it,
Yeah.
It would just be nice if there were an easy, accessible way to do that. Like,
right.
They've put out older Dragon Quest before, like, just give us kind of straight ports. And then, yeah, if you want to do this, like, as long as it's cool, we'll be there. But,
right.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to try this version of 7. I don't know anything about Dragon Quest 7 specifically. Then they teased us with some updates here, which I was like, okay, this could be big. So first up, Nintendo Today app on your smartphone getting an update with a new Kirby theme, and they're going to be drip feeding new Air Riders updates through that, kind of the same way they've done with Smash Bros on the Smash Bros Dojo website in the past. And then okay, we get some Switch Online. We get an update. I'm like, okay, it's probably going to be games, right? GameCube games. Maybe some release dates, maybe some more games to that library that we haven't seen them talk about yet. And at some point, I just kept waiting for them to say psych, and they didn't. They showed us the Virtual Boy, and coming to Nintendo Classics February 17th of next year. You know what a Virtual Boy is. I know what a Virtual Boy is, but I think there probably are a lot of Nintendo fans that aren't really aware of what that is. It was a weird attempt at like a 3D handheld console thing in the mid-90s, right before the N64. And it was a huge failure. And so have you ever got to play an actual Virtual Boy?
No, I never have.
Neither have I. Yeah.
I've held one in my hands, but I've never played one. And to be honest with you, like outside of holding it in my hands, I don't really need much more than that, to be honest. I've seen enough about what you'd see in there.
It's apparently an awful experience. So the screen is only black and red. It is stereoscopic 3D, which the Switch is going to do. The Switch 1 and 2 are going to provide that for this collection, but they have a required dedicated accessory that you need to play it. There's one that is just a replica of the Virtual Boy headset, not the controller. They've done these Nintendo Classics controllers, but you're still going to use, in the picture, they use that stupid Switch Joy-Con grip that, I hate, which I obviously won't use, but, you can't even give me that. You got the headset and you can't give me that weird shaped controller. That's $100. But if that's too rich for your blood, Jordan, they've got a cardboard version you can buy for $25 that you can slide your Switch into and use that way, which they did with Labo. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
Labo experiment.
Yeah.
14 games currently planned for this collection. Mario Tennis, Wario Land, Mario Clash, a bunch of others. I know Water World, I think maybe isn't there. But this is crazy, right?
Yeah. This is crazy. This is insane. And I talked about this for like an hour and a half with Amanda. I was like pacing around my kitchen. I was like, look, like, I don't know how to feel about this because I gotta buy the fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta have it. I need it. I have to have it.
I'm buying this. I might buy both of them. I might buy the cardboard thing.
Do you think I'll ever play it? No. But I gotta have it.
I'm interested in trying it, but you're right. I don't see myself like finishing all these games.
Like, I'm not gonna say never. I'm gonna buy the thing because I want it. It's a collector's piece. I feel like I have to have it. We're collectors. That's kind of what we do. It almost feels kind of like a big fuck you from Nintendo because they're like, here you go.
Yeah.
And you're like, thanks. Like, I'm gonna put it on my shelf. But it's like, am I gonna try it because I'm gonna buy the thing? Yeah, I will, because I'm gonna have the thing. I'm gonna open it. I'm not buying it for it to collect value. I'm buying it because I want to have it. Because it's like you said, it was a tremendous failure. And I mean, like, now they're re-releasing it. It's a cool little collectible. So yeah, I'm gonna plug it up and I'm gonna see how it looks. But like, My God, did I not want this though? You know?
No, and I'm interested in it as the historian, right? I want to play this. I want to see these games for myself. This sounds like a great way to do it, right? This sounds like a better way to do it than finding one of these things for myself and doing that.
But I mean, you know, like you were kind of getting on the trail earlier where you're like, it wasn't really that good for you either. Like it made a lot of people real sick.
So. A lot of headaches.
So you're telling me you're going to put my Switch in front of my face, like as close as you can, and we're just going to blare this thing into my eye holes.
Black and red, too.
Black and red off the Switch screen. We're just going to, they're like, you know what? Like the same company who put in the little things on the 3DS that were like, hey, maybe put that down right now. Okay, you've been playing for a long time. They're like, put this thing in front of your face and let's see you play some Virtual Boy games. You know?
Right. I will say, and this is just me trying to cope here, right? I hope this means, and I hope enough people support this, that if this is what they're playing at, that this means they are willing to consider the second screen thing to make DS and 3DS games possible. Because those are libraries I would very much like on Nintendo Classics. This one, not so much. But because it's so weird, it makes me think if they could give me $100 screen, I would buy that and I would play DS games on my Switch.
So you think the Virtual Boy is a gateway drug?
I mean,
to my 3DS.
If this were any sane company, I would say no. But Nintendo does like to do this, where they will put out this Virtual Boy $100 piece of plastic that you slide your Switch into. And then when we don't buy it, they go, see, you guys don't like that. That means you don't want to play DS games. You don't want to play 3DS games. And it's like, no. I want to do that. But you gave me this first. And that's not my fault. Like, you know, so I don't know.
I like what you're saying, though. I mean, it makes sense. You're not wrong. They're totally wrong, though, if they use Virtual Boy, if they think that's the barometer that's going to tell them if they want DS. But I feel like that's a good point, though. Except they can't give you a cardboard version of the DS screen.
I mean, we've done NES up through the GameCube and the Game Boys as well. So now kind of all they have left for these classic libraries would be the ones that have the weird control schemes. Yeah. The 2DSs, the Wii, the Wii U, and the Virtual Boy. And for some reason they decided to start this with the weirdest one of all. And yeah, I think maybe if this sells out, I think there's a good shot then we'll get something else.
You know what would be wild? If this whole time in the new Nintendo Switch 2 dock, it had the little IR receiver from the Wii in there. You had no idea.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
They could have snuck that thing in there, dude.
Yeah. Anyway. I still haven't tried this out. Apparently in Metroid Prime Remastered, the motion controls that you use with the dual Joy-Con are like way better on the Switch 2 with the Switch 2 Joy-Con. Something about the hardware they have in there makes that experience way better. I'm curious to see if maybe playing the Galaxy games with those Joy-Con is a better experience, because that was one of the reasons I didn't love Galaxy on 3D All-Stars.
Okay.
I do think, and I have recently been playing the Wii with Metroid Prime 3, so like when it's done right, it does actually work. It is kind of remarkable to play that thing from 2006 and be like, this is actually pretty responsive compared to some of the motion controls we have now. So I don't know. I would love to see all of those libraries on the Switch at some point. Never thought this would happen.
No.
But here we are. So you'll hear all about it on Podcasting with Power when we get our hands on.
Yeah, we're both gonna show up in our Virtual Boy helmets. We're gonna be like, just
we're not gonna be able to see anymore. Then we got a game. I'm curious to see what you thought about this one, because when I was watching this, I was like, I bet if Jordan's not into these games, he should be. And that is a Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly remake, early 2026. So these are like horror games based on photography, which feels very tailored towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know I'm familiar with these. I was actually just right before we hopped on the podcast, I was watching this YouTube video. Amanda and I were trying to find out where our next horror game venture is going to be. She decided that Resident Evil 7 was not scary enough for her. So we're venturing into the abyss of scary things. And Fatal Frame came up in the list of suggestions. So we were watching a couple of videos. I don't think really for me, it's this definitely doesn't make my list when it comes to horror or remarkable horror games.
Yeah.
So this one always kind of stayed off my radar, but I mean, it's interesting enough, but it's not something that I'm really looking for.
Okay, fair enough. That's interesting because I'm not very familiar with these. I think there was one on the Wii U that people despised, from what I understand. I could be completely mistaken there. I might be thinking of something else, but yeah, I'm not familiar with these. It feels like a Jordan kind of deal.
Yeah, no, usually I'd say you're usually pretty right, though. I do tend to gravitate towards these games.
Well, tell me if any of these pique your interest. So the next was a little montage of games receiving Nintendo Switch 2 editions. From what I understand, I know at least one of these is free. They didn't really highlight prices for any of them, so I'm assuming they all are. Okay. We got One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, fall 2025.
Yeah.
You know, not a One Piece guy.
No.
I don't really. We've talked about Dragon Ball. I don't really do a lot of anime outside of Dragon Ball. I have very little. Some of the stuff that was on in that era, like on Toonami and then Adult Swim, like I remember and I'm familiar with, but including this. But yeah, that's kind of really the only one I dive into. Do you have other anime interests other than Dragon Ball?
Yeah, but it is very limited. Like, so it is pretty surrounded around Toonami and whatever they're playing, like Inuyasha and Rurouni Kenshin and Tenchi Muyo. You know.
See, now you're over my head.
Well, Tenchi is a weird one though, because I know which one I liked. And to be honest with you, I can't even tell you that this is a specific series. Tenchi Muyo is huge. There's so many seasons and different variety. I had no idea. So when I was trying to get nostalgic and go back and watch it, it was so hard for me to figure out what the one that I watched was.
Yeah.
You know, but no, yeah. So it's pretty small, but I'm like open-minded. Like Hayao Miyazaki, those movies, I love those.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But outside of that, you know, I'm not really into a lot of the newer stuff that's around.
One Piece, of course, you know, also known for having a lot of issues of the manga, a lot of episodes. Were you aware that there were 4, not just One Piece games, but 4 of these specific like Dynasty Warriors style One Piece games?
No,
I was not. When I saw Pirate Warriors, like, oh, that's a fun idea. And then I was like, 4? What are you talking about, 4?
Yeah, I didn't know there were 4.
But anyway, if you do have that game, get a Switch 2 edition, so that's cool. Okay. Then we saw Overcooked 2. I definitely know some people that'll be excited by that. Overcooked do anything for you? Any of those kind of moving out?
It's fun here and there. I think the last time I played it was with you in like 2014.
Yeah, I play it pretty sporadically. I think they're fun. Stardew Valley, which is again a game that I feel like I need to play.
I feel the same way, and I haven't.
You especially love Harvest Moon, and it just feels like a successor to that.
I've played it. I'm not gonna say I haven't played it, but I should be more into it than I am.
Okay.
But I do very much have a huge appreciation for it. I need to spend more time and get into it.
That is the one that I know for sure has a free update for Switch 2. I can't confirm the other ones. And then the last one here was Human Fall Flat, spring 2026. So that again seems like something you would,
yeah.
Kind of a goofy little party game.
Yeah. That's a fun little party game.
I get that. Then I was a little confused as this was going on. Power Wash Simulator 2 is just its own thing. It wasn't part of this montage. That's coming this fall. Do you care for any of these?
No. What are we doing? The simulator games I think are sometimes fun and sometimes they're fun. They're like quirky and fun.
Yeah.
This one, no, man.
Hang on.
I saw this one circulate around and people were making fun of it and I laughed. It's hilarious and it's real and I can't believe.
So I played this one on Game Pass, the first one.
Oh.
It is great. it's a very relaxing time. Throw on a podcast, throw on some music, and just chill. And there's both paid and free DLC. There's, if you want to do Shrek's Swamp, SpongeBob's house, Patrick's house, all that. I have the Back to the Future DLC. I've cleaned the DeLorean. I know there's some Final Fantasy VII stuff. It's great. It's a great time. Not something I'll pick up at launch at full price, but I will absolutely play this at some point on sale.
You're like going to work.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
Like, do you, when you're cleaning something and you're halfway through, do you ever feel like you're like, I better finish this thing up. I got to move on to the next thing. I'm going a little slow.
No,
like, you get stressed out?
No, because it's all about just building up to the next thing. Because sure, I can only get, I have this sprayer and it can only do this right now, but I'm going to get the sprayer that has a wider angle or, has more power to it or whatever. And that's just going to speed things up. Yeah.
You're just like, I got to get better. I need this new nozzle.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
God damn, dude. Whew. All right.
Very cool. It's the only one of these kind of simulator games I've really gotten into, but
no way.
It is. I haven't tried very many of them, to be fair, but yeah, Game Pass got me. I tried it out and I loved it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Right.
Then we got Suika Game Planet coming winter 2025. This is another one that Kali was like, "Hey, what's this?" And I was like, "Well, it's fruits and you match them and then they grow to a different fruit." I played a demo of this on the Switch.
Oh,
and I thought it was fun. I didn't buy the full game. I know it was like a big phenomena at the time. Just a little fruit-based puzzler there. I don't know. I know you're looking at it. I'm not sure how you're feeling about this one.
Yeah, it looks like a phone game.
Yeah, I believe it was initially.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mega Juggernaut. People love this. Then completely flipping gears. I can't believe they put these two games next to each other. They showed us Metroid Prime 4 Beyond with a release date. Okay, December 4th. And initially, I wasn't even sure it was Metroid Prime 4 because we open up on what is a motorcycle, and then you kind of get some glimpses of stuff, and it's like, okay. And I think that's very interesting. And this idea that potentially I don't think it will be a full open world. That's, the Metroid community right now is trying to figure out, what does this mean? What will it be? And I put, in our notes here that I think it'll work like the Great Sea in Wind Waker, which you seem to think is very funny. I think it is just going to connect the different areas, right? Yeah. I think the different areas are going to be very Metroidvania, very, you're going to be finding items and mechanisms and retreading and all that. But this will just be kind of a fun connective tissue to get between them. Yeah. And give them reason to make distinct environments that are, not just right on top of each other.
The in between spaces though looked so boring. Like that's what was throwing me off at first.
The desert did feel very empty.
Just extremely empty, yeah. Very, very boring, very bland, very Pokemon.
Yep.
Sorry, just huge crash of thunder just happened on my side here.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Anyway, wow, I feel like my soul just left my body here.
All right.
But no, yeah, very, very Pokemon feeling to me. Like,
yeah, that
was scared me a little bit.
I agree. I felt like it was very empty. That doesn't necessarily equate to a bad thing. I want to see it in action.
No, but because once you've got
are lonely, that's part of it.
Yeah, but I mean, once you got to those inside areas, though, it started to look a lot better, a little more promising.
Yeah, a lot of combat in the trailer, which Metroid Prime is not. It's not devoid of combat, but it's not. I feel like the puzzle solving and the exploration is kind of more in the forefront than the combat is. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, December 4th. I'll talk about it, I guess, in a second. I think maybe that date changed at some point. They also showed, and I feel like this is a weird thing to put right next to it, but a Metroid Prime 1-3 visual retrospective book coming at the end of October 28th. That is something we've known about for a bit. And then they showed off 3 amiibo, which awesome. Especially the Metroid amiibo that I have, I feel like are some of the highest quality amiibo that I have. The Metroid Samus Returns ones with like the squishy Metroid coming out of the tank is cool, and then the 2 Metroid Dread ones I think are awesome. Yeah. But we're gonna get an individual like Samus on her own, and then Samus on Viola, which is what the packaging on the thing says for the motorcycle. They didn't. This was one of the weird trailers that had no voiceover. Did you notice that? The narrator was talking over most of the games here, but not this one.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, kind of odd. So those 2 amiibo come out November 6th, which, as we talked about earlier, is the day that Age of Imprisonment is coming out. Huh. And I think that is very interesting. I wonder if those at some point switched, because the Silex amiibo is coming out with the game on December 4th. Okay. So I don't know what happened there, but I do wonder if this was meant to be the November Nintendo game, and maybe they kind of chickened out. Huh. So I feel like I know the answer. Does this move the needle on Metroid Prime 4 for you at all, or still kind of?
I don't know, man. I mean, again, this is like the period of time where I don't typically have a ton else going on, but because everything that I'm excited for the last bit of the year here isn't going to be anything that takes a lot of my time. So there's I feel like I might be driven to play this just for the sake of talking about it with you.
Okay. Yeah.
But if had we didn't meet weekly to discuss Nintendo, I don't think that I would pick it up.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I will say, I don't know anything, specific about the story at this point, but the trilogy I think ends on a pretty definitive note, and Silex, who is going to be the villain here, is from the DS spinoff. So like, I feel like this is a point you could jump in, and you're kind of, I think we'll see how this connects to kind of the Phase-On trilogy of the first 3 games, but like, I don't think that's going to be like in your face, like, oh, you don't know what happened in the middle of Metroid Prime 2. Like, I don't think it's going to be like that. So we'll see. We followed that up with Donkey Kong Bananza, some DLC, paid DLC, Donkey Kong Island and Emerald Rush. It is out now. I got stoked when I saw this trailer. Okay.
Oh, I know why.
Very, very cool. So it gives you, as the name suggests, the DK Island to explore, and with some very familiar music in the trailer, and it does play when you go into the area there. Then there's also it's a roguelike mode where you are collecting emeralds instead of the usual gold bits, and certain things are triggered. You're getting, like, when you collect certain things, it will trigger like ability. It'll give you, it's the best way to describe it. It'll give you like 3 choices, right? Of different power-ups, essentially. You're more likely to find treasure chests. You're more likely to, get this when you defeat an enemy, something like that. And you're just trying to, it has different rounds to it. And you're trying to get the quota, and he's throwing, little missions at you to get more of the resource and all that. And that's all it is. It's just trying to do the run, see how well you can do, see if you can beat your previous, that kind of thing. The DLC is $20, and I downloaded it immediately because I love Bananza. I feel like it earned that. Before I tell you what I feel about that, I want to know what you felt seeing this trailer.
I thought it was going to be something else when it opened, and I was very excited. Heard the DK Island music, felt very nostalgic. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Here's my win. Yeah. Like, we're coming out on top with this. And I don't really care for like rush modes of things.
Yep. I typically don't either. But I thought, I love this game. I'll give it a try.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious what you think then, because honestly, like, I'm not really interested in doing it. I just don't see any value to it, to me.
Value is a great word, Jordan, because this DLC is priced at $20, and it is not worth $20.
God, dude.
It just isn't. So, I guess I'm going to spoil Super Mario Odyssey from, I won't spoil Donkey Kong Bonanza, but I will spoil Super Mario Odyssey from 2017, just a little bit. When you finish that game, you are taken to a Mushroom Kingdom world, which has a lot of inspiration from the Mario series, but like specifically Mario 64, right? Which is cool. I totally expected something similar when you finish Donkey Kong Bonanza. And obviously, because you're seeing this DLC, that doesn't happen. You don't go to DK Island and see your friends and all that fun stuff at the end of Bonanza, which was a bummer. And so that alone was cool to see it, have the music. Again, it does take a lot of inspiration, specifically from DK64, but there's definitely other stuff in there, which is cool. Some Donkey Kong Country 2 stuff, all that kind of stuff. But that's it. Like, there are no bananas to collect. There are no fossils, like, specific to that area to get outfits like there are in the rest of the game. Like, it is not a new lair for Bonanza, which is a bummer.
Yeah.
So that right there is, cool to look around. But there's not much substance to it. The Emerald Rush mode is clearly the content here. And that is exactly what I described. It's kind of roguelike, meant to be played again and again. Once you do the first one, you do, there are upgrades you'll get and outfits, and I think there's like one set of outfits, total. But you'll get that, and then it will unlock in another layer. But Emerald Rush is not in every layer. It's only in a select few of them. So in the trailer, it says you can play. I watched it again to make sure. It says you can play in additional layers. It does not say every layer, and that is very true. It's only a handful. I don't know if it's 4, maybe 5. And it's just not enough.
Yeah.
$10 I could maybe see getting away with it. But I think they knew, we'll get people in with the DK Island thing, which I think should have been in the base game. And then I don't know, Emerald Rush, I don't even know if $10 is it. Because remember in Odyssey, they did add that Luigi balloon minigame, and you can have people, connect with your friends and do all that. And that was a free update. And this could have been a free update.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Yeah. And it sucks because I feel like Nintendo does a lot of things, and I think a lot of the time, despite what it might seem, they really know what they're doing, and it's like DK Island is definitely the carrot on the stick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's like, it just sucks for it to be this, because I'm wondering, will we see more of DK Island in DLC for this? Because I'm thinking probably not, right?
I would have to imagine this is it.
Yeah, I would think so. So it's until maybe the next installment or something, we won't see DK Island again. It's just they kind of fished it in for this Emerald Rush mode, when really I would have rather they just save DK Island. We don't see it for another 3 or 4 months, and then maybe February, March we see a new DLC launch with it or something.
Yeah, because I hoped it was going to just be another layer like the game has, and I want to say the content isn't bad. It just isn't $20.
No,
and it's not. And the Emerald Rush, I don't really want to spend a ton of time doing it. It's not nearly as fun as I think a lot of the base game's content.
Yeah.
I will say, if you do buy this, do not. It immediately wants you to talk to Void Kong and start this Void Rush or the Emerald Rush thing. Don't do that. Explore the island, look around. Because I basically went to the beach, went to him, and then you're in it. So I'm now having to fly all around the map, trying to collect these things at a rapid pace, kind of spoiling the island for me because I'm seeing it, and then I kind of went through after. So I would suggest, if you want to check that out, do that before you talk to him and start all that. But that's just me. So don't buy this. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
If you want to see what DK Island looks like in Bonanza, just YouTube it.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally what I'm going to do.
Yeah. So, next one, Pokopia. All right. Coming 2026. You have some opinions about this game, so I'm going to let you describe it.
I mean, this game was a little bit of a roller coaster because, and it's worth pointing out. So obviously, as we do, we're talking about it. I like to watch the people that I like also on YouTube talk about it. So I was happy to see that I wasn't the first person to think about this. But in the first 10 seconds or whatever, it was kind of showing what was going on. Number one, when Ditto turned into that girl, I was like, what is going on right now? And then she like runs out with her arms, you know, out of the cave. And then you see Bulbasaur, who looks great. Bulbasaur was looking real nice in the grass there. Yeah. And then from there, I was like, wait, Ditto is now learning moves, like, but became the girl, but is now learning something else. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And at first I was like, man, this is very Minecraft. This is extremely Minecrafty, which earlier when we were talking about all those likeness lawsuits, you know, I was like, man, this is sure ballsy of Nintendo. But when they zoomed out, it looked like a Pokemon game.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely evokes Minecraft with kind of the blocky, cubey kind of.
When you zoom out, though, like it really does look like that's what a Pokemon game would look like if you were zoomed in.
Sure.
And I thought that was I was like, okay, maybe I'm wrong about the Minecraft thing. Where I don't feel like I'm wrong about the Minecraft thing though is like we're putting grass places for the Pokemon. Like we're creating like an ecosystem for the Pokemon, it seems like, to inhabit in like these little maps. And to be honest with you, I would have rather this just been well, then it would really be Minecraft. But if I could just build the ecosystem myself, I don't need to be a character within it. I could build it and see it like a Sims, but Pokemon, you know, I don't know.
I think they're afraid to give you that much freedom to it. I mean, Minecraft doesn't have direction to it, right? Obviously there is stuff to do in Minecraft and story that they've added over the years, but you know, Minecraft very much, you start a world, you just are dropped in and you do what you want. You want to build a farm, you want to build a treehouse, you do whatever the hell you want. There are other games that have come along, like Dragon Quest Builders, and the one this reminded me the most of is stick with me, it's the Lego mode inside of Fortnite, which is like a survival. It's very Minecraft, but it's also a very survival game. It's about, you know, you're building a base, you're doing that. And I very much got that here. It's about building up your little spot there and making it, you know, comfortable for the Pokemon and your friends and all that stuff.
So, are you going to play it?
I might try it out. I don't know if it's for me. Survival games are not my thing in general.
You think this is a survival game?
I do. I think it's going to feel much more like a survival game than a traditional Pokemon game. I
feel like it's going to be like Fallout Shelter.
Okay.
Kind of thing where like
you're gonna have Pokemon coming in and out and kind of you're going to have to address with it. Okay.
They're going to be like, I'm thirsty. And you're going to be like, oh no, I need water.
Squirtle, get over here.
Yeah, Squirtle, come on. And they're going to be like, there's not enough shade. I'm burning up. And you're like, no. Like I can see it kind of being like that. But like, I don't, again, I'm not, as we see, I hate saying it, but like, as we see more of it, I mean, like, it might be interesting. I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
But this is one that I can't say a definitive no to. I just wish it wasn't it.
Yeah, it's there's not enough here to know if I don't want to play it yet.
Yeah, right.
You know, right. I'm intrigued, but who knows? Immediately following that, we got some Pokemon Legends ZA coming out October 16th. Still, we knew that. Just a big trailer that I think they're calling the final trailer. It showed a lot of different mechanics, a lot of different Mega Evolutions, some of the ones we've talked about in recent weeks. We did get Mega Evolutions for the Kalos starters, Chestnut, Delphox, and Greninja, which is cool. I guess I don't know why those starters didn't have Mega Evolutions back in X and Y. I guess I would have assumed they did. I know the Kanto starters did, because that was a thing that you got in that game. But we got that, and then which is apparently locked behind some distribution event. I know people are pissed that they have to leave their homes to get these things, but then they showed some DLC for that, some paid DLC again, called Mega Dimension, which was kind of unclear. I I was like, is this coming out with the game? Is it, what's going on? Just the like outfit stuff is coming out when the game comes out. The actual content is later. This features 2 versions of Mega Raichu, who's a new Mega Evolution, X and Y, similar to Mewtwo got that, I think, and Charizard got that. Where they got 2 different Mega Evolutions. So we're gonna get that with Raichu, both of which just kind of make them look more like Pikachu, because of course. But people are mad about this one. People really don't like DLC announcements before the game comes out. How does that bother you?
Yeah, a little bit. It's weird.
Okay.
When they say coming soon, I'm like, so is the game. Like.
Apparently, the Pokemon website, I don't know if this is confirmed. I did see someone say that it lists it as like February. So, a couple months after launch.
Why don't they just say like spring? Just say spring. Yeah. Fine. Or save it and just say that they plan to support Pokemon ZA with DLC following release.
Right. I don't think with Pokemon you need to worry about like, people thinking there's enough there, or, people will jump on board for this game, and then in 4 months you can have that marketing beat and show off this. Yeah. At the same time, it doesn't bother me when they do stuff like this. I know Breath of the Wild was one of the ones where we saw the expansion pass before that came out, and people were like, "Oh my god!" I don't know.
The expansion pass to me felt like a season pass.
Sure, and the content wasn't. I mean, Champion's Ballad, I guess, was more substantial, but the first one, the Master Sword one, was really just challenge levels, basically. Yeah. So I don't know. This doesn't bother me that it's announced. Who knows if I'll even still be interested by the time it does come out, but
right.
Can't wait for this though. I am so stoked as I wrap up Pokemon Violet. I do keep thinking like, oh, in a month I'm gonna be playing a new Pokemon game.
Oh yeah, dude. I know it's coming up quick.
Let's fly through the next couple here, okay? Unless you have something you want to discuss.
No.
Trust me, I will stop at the one I know you want to discuss.
Okay.
So we've got Danganronpa 2x2 coming 2026. Dynasty Warriors Origins, which came out, I believe, earlier this year, January 22nd. Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection, March 13th of next year. And then we got a little montage of stuff coming out very soon. We got 2 Point Museum, October 28th. Disgaea 7 Complete, October 10th. EA Sports FC 26, September 26th. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake. You're a slut, an HD 2D, not just a slut.
I'll be purchasing.
Slut specifically. Okay, October 30th.
Mm-hmm.
Virtual Fighter 5, REVO World Stage, winter 2025. Don't know anything about that. Lego Voyagers, we mentioned, is coming out this week, September 15th. Little Nightmares 3 on October 10th. And Persona 3 Reload on October 23rd. Did any of these montage games kind of get your attention?
Little Nightmares 3, but I've been tracking that one, so I'm pretty excited.
And then, as we kind of get to the end of the direct here, I was like, okay, we're in the last 10 minutes. That's always, where the good stuff happens. Yeah. So we got Resident Evil Requiem. We talked about the rumor that this was coming to Switch 2.
Yeah.
And, we got a trailer for that, a cool trailer for that.
Oh, yeah.
Coming February 27th of next year.
Do
we know a release date for that game? Or is this...
That's the same day.
Okay, so we knew for the other platforms, it just... Okay.
Yeah.
But day and date, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So you would mention that you don't think you'll play it here.
Right. Yeah, I won't...
Do you feel any differently?
Yeah, I won't be playing on the Switch, just for that, feature experience. I want to have it elsewhere, but... we've said it before. I'm just happy that same date availability is huge for the Switch, because this means that people can consider this. Other people who's, maybe it's their only option to have it on the Switch. It's available to them at launch to do that. Yeah. And I think that's huge, especially with, I thought we'd be getting Biohazard and Village first.
But same date, February 27th as well for those 2 games, 7 and 8.
Uh-huh.
which we talked about, the rumor being that those would come along. No 2 and 3 remake or 4 remake.
Yeah.
So that might be another marketing beat later. But I found it interesting. I think it's a weird choice to put them all out on the same day.
It is. You'd think that Village and Biohazard would come out sooner so people can play it.
I mean, if these were available around Halloween, I might finally play through them. This might be a way to do that for me, and then, to get excited for 9. But yeah, I mean, all coming out at the same time, I probably won't bother on Switch, at least.
Yeah. But it's cooler there, nonetheless.
Yeah. I am more, we've talked about, I'm more interested in the remakes of the older games than these. So when those come along, I'll probably, double dip on those. But we'll see. Cool that there was some reality to that rumor, though. And then they closed the show with a new Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, coming in 2026. This was a pretty trailer. Neither of us, I think, are the biggest Fire Emblem guys. But it is cool. Is it Nintendo Direct closer cool?
See, I don't think so. And I was honestly pretty surprised that it was. I think... Is it closer cool? Maybe it is. It's just that, like, the Fire Emblem demographic, I feel like, is just smaller than all the other fandoms.
Sure.
So that's the only thing I would think is, like, why I would question it being closer cool or not. But it is cool. I couldn't care less,
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I'm always interested in these. I always take a look at them. Will, this be one I stick with? Who knows? But I think it is weird placement. Not that I really don't think Nintendo had anything else here. Well, I'll save that. We'll get into that. But for it to be the last thing of the Direct, I was kind of like, oh, okay. I get that. The people that are into that will be happy. It has been a while since we've got a Fire Emblem game now, a couple of years. So I get that. Highlights of this Direct for you. I know we've kind of pointed it out as we go. Do you kind of have any off the top of your head, maybe 2 or 3 that you were really happy to see?
Honestly, strange enough, like, after kind of reflecting and sitting on the Direct, I think the biggest pieces for me, one was the Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, with that hesitancy of how hard it might be, but, like, that was new. I thought it was really cool, so, like, I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, it's everything I kind of already knew about. Like, I knew that Metroid Prime 4 was coming. It's not really a highlight. But Pokemon ZA, it was cool to see a little bit more on that. But this is kind of why, like, I was telling you, it's like a C+, because, like, they didn't really ring my bell on any of these.
Exactly. Like, the highlights for me are Mario Tennis. Even, like, I think this did really get me the most excited I've been for Age of Imprisonment.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, the Virtual Boy is probably the other thing, right? That I'm just like, I can't believe that is happening, and I want to see that. But yeah, if those 3 things are my highlight,
it's bleak. It's weird because these are all big things, but none of them are that exciting to me. So can't really say.
What was it missing? What did you need to be here that wasn't here?
I would have liked to see more GameCube.
Okay. Yeah, it feels weird to not get a mention of that. You just launched that system on Nintendo Classics a couple months ago. You've only put out 2 new titles since it's come out. I have to imagine if there's any sort of planning that Luigi's Mansion is planned for next month, and hopefully the Pokemon games are soon. And I don't know, why are we not getting those dates?
Yeah. So I mean. And I thought we'd hear about something new to look forward to next year, something big, it was missing that, like, next wow factor like that next mystery. Like I don't need them to spill their next Mario 3D title, but they could show something that teases it that it's happening.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think even Mario is maybe too big for what I'm thinking, but like, and Zelda too, you know, I wouldn't expect a Zelda here. But yeah, there always should be some sort of carrot on the stick, you know, game that, you know, you want to appear at a show. I for a lot of people, Silk Song was that game. I think Elder Scrolls 6 is that game for a lot of people. GTA 6 right now. Not necessarily Switch games, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think for Nintendo fans for a long time, that has just been the Switch 2. That's been the thing that we want to see.
Right.
And now that that's out, you know, I think we need a new one. And I get like, you know, I don't think it's time for Mario. I don't think it's time for Zelda. You know, weird omission, I want to say too, while we're here, that Splatoon game that they showed, which I can't think of the subtitle for.
Raiders?
Splatoon Raiders? Splatoon Raiders. And nothing for that, right?
Yeah.
I would kind of expect that game to come out next year.
And like Mario Kart World, no DLC, no.
Yeah, that was another weird one, right?
You know?
For DK to get DLC and no mention of it for Mario Kart is odd.
Yeah, like what else? What else we have going on there? Like, is there plans for anything else? Like,
right?
Yeah,
my it's just like that. Go ahead.
We just I this is the mantra I've been seeing online. So these aren't really my words, but definitely my feelings. It's just like they know how well the Switch did, and there's no reason to try to make people feel like they need to buy one because so many people did.
Sure.
You know?
I think with Mario Kart, the move might be on the first anniversary of that game of the Switch 2. Maybe then you do that, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a year 2 for Mario Kart. It might be too early because I mean that game's it's already attached to the Switch 2, which is gonna do gangbusters this holiday. So maybe they don't see the need to do that with that game yet. I think the ones I was expecting a tease for, not a ton, but you know, we're now as we're looking into. You know, we know at least the first half and probably beyond the first half of the year for the Switch 2. What does year 2 look like? And I think if the first year was defined by Donkey Kong and Mario Kart, then I think your second year needs to be defined by something like a Smash Bros, something like an Animal Crossing. And I wanted a teaser for either one of those here. And maybe the time's not right. Maybe that January Direct that we always get, maybe that's the time to do that. But I think you need a big anchor that is maybe next fall that I feel like one of those two games could really slot into and make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Not a bummer, but just I don't know. I don't feel like there was enough new stuff here for me to be like, that was a great Direct.
Yeah, I feel pretty bummed, to be honest. It is kind of a bummer for me. You know, I was riding the high. I was so excited, and I feel a little burned, but you know, we've still got a lot of stuff to look forward to. Pokemon, Luigi's Mansion, things like that. Like,
yeah.
So I mean, like, I have things that I know will keep me happy in the meantime, but it sounds like the next thing I'm looking forward to is February for Zelda's 40th. And
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Imagine being a Metroid fan. You're not going to do anything.
Well, yeah. Oh, man, I know. That's got to suck for you guys. Woo.
Yeah, it's all right. You get a game every 10 years. It's okay. No big deal. Let us know in the comments if you guys out there, you know, what your highlights of the Nintendo Direct were, what didn't work for you, and kind of what you were hoping, you know, maybe is still down the line. We appreciate you watching, as always. This is Podcast with Power. I'm Zachary Davis. That's Jordan Carlson. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.